Hi, my name is Ian, and this is my channel, My Take, where I offer my own opinion, or perhaps an opinion you haven't heard of or thought of, about issues here in New Zealand and throughout the world. Now, I thought I'd do something a bit different today. With our election getting nearer and nearer, it's a couple of weeks away till we go to polling. I thought I would cover the election a little bit here. That's right, I'm going down that road today. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I would prefer National Act and New Zealand First to align and get in power. But, however, I can actually see it going the other way. I can actually see on election night that Labour, the Greens and the Maori Party will get back in. And this is primarily because I feel a lot of people might not say like Winston, or they might not like, say, David Seymour. So even though, say, 6 of the 8 tenants that they're putting forward, for example, you might agree with, because you like someone who's in a minor party, you'll vote for that minor party. However, I think we stand at a precipice this year in New Zealand. I think this is probably just about, certainly in my lifetime anyway, probably the most vital and valuable election we have ever had. And I don't think we can afford as voters to, mess about. I think we need to make one clear, concise vote. So I'd rather vote for 2 or 3 of them minor parties, maybe like a Freedom or a Democracy NZ or Loyal or New Conservative. I agree with quite a few tenets of most of them. However, like I said, I don't think they'll poll high enough to get in, but if you get half a dozen of them that get between 0.1 and say 1.6 on the night, if you add them all together, they just about get to the 5% threshold. So they potentially can take away 3 or 4 seats. Even if they got 3%, they still might. If you added all the election seats together, you might find that they end up taking 1 or 2 seats anyway. Well, what would be the equivalent of 1 or 2 seats? And I don't think anybody can afford to do that. I think if you want to go a minor party, say, I don't know, for example, say you like Democracy NZ, I think you should go your candidate vote for the Democracy NZ candidate, and your party vote should say go for one of the bigger parties, so like a National or an ACT or something. That, even though, like I said, you may not like David Seymour, you may not like Winston Peters, but, they're a lot more likely to get nearer to physically getting into Parliament. So maybe, as I was trying to say earlier, maybe you have to wear X viewpoints, even if, you don't agree with everything. Like, for example, a couple of those parties, I wish they were more stringent on the abortion law, right? And there's a couple of the minor parties that would, readjust our abortion law back to being something simple, not where you could terminate it right up to just about where the baby's ready to come out of the woman's lady part. But, I think you need to look at it and go, well, hang on. I also care about, say, crime. I also care about racially divisive policies. I also care about this. Well, this stronger party offers these. So even though they might not offer one thing that I like, maybe I have to swallow my pride a bit and vote for, one of the better parties that, like I said, will go with most of what I like and agree with. And same the other way, you might be say more of a top or Aotearoa Cannabis Party person, but they're not likely to get into Parliament. So you might one of them more go, well, okay, I'll throw my, say, electorate vote towards, say, my top candidate and my party vote towards, say, Labour or the Greenies or something. So, I mean, it works the other way as well. So, I think this year is very valuable, and I don't think we can afford to mess around as individuals. I mean, it's always a good idea to have in mind probably a couple of parties who you're gonna vote for. Like, I mean, as I've said, like, there are a lot of tenets of these smaller parties I agree with, but I also don't think a lot of them are gonna get in. So I think, maybe it's better to, swallow my pride and vote for someone whom I know is probably likely to get in. I mean, for me personally, I think things like being stricter on crime, stopping racial division, i.e. as in making sure everybody's treated equally, not equity, equality, just to clarify that for everyone out there. So for me, they're big things. So I would vote more for parties that were going to say, be harder on crime, But somebody who might be, say, for example, for the environment more, they're probably going to vote the Greenies or maybe Labour, I mean, I haven't looked at a lot of the polls lately, but, I think, the breakdown could be very interesting. I think at the moment, from the last poll I heard, it looks like National and ACT might get in, but we've seen what has happened with polls in other elections in other countries throughout the world, And let's not forget, when these people ask these people for their opinions, they might be more inclined to go somewhere like the central city to ask. So, of course, you're getting better readings for one side than you are for the other. When they survey these, whatever it is, 1,000 people or, 1,500 people they do for an election cycle. So, those are my thoughts. But yeah, my prediction on election night is I do think that Labour, Greens and the Maori Party will get back in, because I think even though the Maori Party themselves poll under 5% normally, they usually win 2 or 3 electorates, like Maori electorates. So, they earn their seats usually from winning those electorates. Like, I suppose Chloe Swarbrick might have a chance of getting a seat for the Greens in Central, retaining that one. I mean, I'm not too familiar with a lot of the seats. I think the northern one could be quite interesting. You could get a couple of bolters like Matt King or Shane Jones up there who could give maybe the Labour and National guys up there a little bit of a fright. Now, do I agree with vandalising electorate signs again? No, I don't agree with that either. But I can see why some parties' signs have also been targeted more than others too. I mean, if you, pass policies that, irritate people in your electorate, people are going to be a little bit more hostile towards you, fair or not, in that particular electorate. So they're probably a bit more likely to, vandalise the poster. But again, I don't agree with anyone vandalising someone else's property. to do it. So yeah, that was my take on the election, and a brief take on the electoral signs vandalism. I trust you enjoyed my quick review, and sorry about the delay in posting videos, been real busy. But as usual, guys, any comments you want to make, or any suggestions you want for other videos, please, make them in the comments, but also keep the comments respectful, no personal attacks towards each other. Thank you and bye.